Welcome to DeepNight Horrors. I'm Daniel, and tonight I'm taking you into the darkest chapter ever buried in American history. A chapter the U.S. government sealed more than 30 years ago. A night when an entire town died in a single breath. Officials said it was a mine collapse, but the survivors, before they disappeared, gave statements that never matched. Some said they saw darkness spreading inside people's eyes. Some said bodies twisted in the air like broken puppets. Some said the miners awakened something underground, something that fed on human memories. And the most disturbing part, according to them, even after death, the people of that town kept walking. Tonight, we're opening what no one has dared to open again since 1989. This is the case of Blackwater, Montana. And I promise, before you finish this story, you will absolutely look over your shoulder. Blackwater was a tiny mining town hidden deep between two barren mountains. An old America frozen in time. White fences, diners from the 60s, a single high school, a small clinic, and at its center, the old coal mine. Until 1989, the population was 1210. After that night, 0. Every record was sealed, every file restricted. 33 years later, a YouTube documentary crew decided to go there anyway. Andrew Hale, the lead presenter, always wanted a breakout video. According to him, abandoned towns bring views, cursed towns bring legends. With him were Josh Merrick, cameraman Brandon Cole, sound tech Liam Foster, researcher Tyler Briggs, drone operator. It was late October. Snow patches covered the Montana highway. The car heater hummed softly, almost dragging everyone into sleep. Outside, the world looked dead. Gray skies, frozen silence, no birds. Andrew stared out the window. If this place is actually haunted, this might be our biggest video ever. Josh laughed. Haunted? Bro, this is Montana, not Louisiana. The scariest thing here is cheap beer. But Brandon didn't laugh. After the Blackwater collapse, the survivors were taken to a military base for questioning. That is not normal. Liam, looking at his tablet, added, and the weirdest part, Blackwater still has electricity. Tyler leaned forward from the back. How? Nobody lives there. Liam turned the tablet around. It's listed as active, under government maintenance, but there are no maintenance records. The car fell silent. When they reached the entrance, a rotting wooden signboard swayed in the icy wind. Welcome to Blackwater population, 0. Brandon snorted. Government's sense of humor sucks. Andrew raised the camera and recorded. We have just reached Blackwater. This place looks dead in the truest sense. Tyler launched the drone. As its feed appeared on the monitor, everything inside the car went silent. Blackwater was not dead. It looked disturbingly alive. The streets were empty, but every house had lights on. A diner's neon open sign flickered. A children's swing moved gently in the wind. A police cruiser sat at the corner, and inside it, a shadow-like figure sat perfectly still. Guys, Tyler whispered. Someone's in the cruiser. Andrew told him to zoom in. The camera tightened on the figure, and the crew froze. The thing inside wasn't human. Where its face should have been, there was only a melted black mass, as if someone had burned a face and let it drip downward. Brandon whispered, Nope, nope, let's turn back. Andrew, I'm serious. But Andrew's ambition was stronger than fear. We go in, 30 minutes of footage, then we leave. We need this. The car rolled forward. Every few steps, a person appeared. A man on a porch, a woman carrying groceries, a jogger frozen mid-step. But each time the car approached, their bodies twisted unnaturally, froze like mannequins, and then dissolved into faint black dust. Drone footage showed even more terrifying things. A man repeating the same action in a perfect loop. Open garage, walk inside, Walk out. Close garage. Repeat. 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 Like a corrupted video file. Memory loops, Liam whispered. 2 survivor reports mention this. Andrew asked, "What did they say?" "They said the town copied people's last moments, made them walk again. Dead, but walking." Andrew spotted a church and decided they'd start filming there. Inside, everything smelled of burnt candles, though none were lit. A faint humming came from below, a broken, unsettling lullaby. "Do you hear that?" Brandon whispered. They followed the sound to the basement. At the bottom, they saw her, a woman in an old white church gown, back turned, shoulders trembling like she was crying. Her bare feet were gray, bloodless, motionless. "Ma'am?" Andrew whispered. The woman froze. Then, with impossible slowness, her head twisted backwards. A full 180 degrees, accompanied by the cracking of bone. Her face, burnt, melted, hollow eyes, and tiny black worms crawling from her jaw. Then she smiled, not with lips, with torn muscles dragging upward. "Run!" Liam screamed. They bolted up the stairs. The woman's body flickered. One moment at the base of the stairs, the next right behind them, like a glitch. Josh tripped. Andrew grabbed him. They burst through the doors, gasping, shaking. Tyler grabbed the drone controller and froze. Drone footage now showed Tyler sitting on a bench in the town square. A twisted female entity sat beside him, gently rocking him like a mother comforting her child. "But I'm right here," Tyler stuttered. Andrew zoomed in. Every detail matched Tyler's beanie, freckles, jacket, except one thing. Drone Tyler had no eyes, just 2 black pits and a stretched, unnatural smile. "The town copied him," Liam whispered. Before they could process it, the same police cruiser from earlier pulled up beside their car. The window rolled down. Inside sat the melted officer. His radio hissed static, repeating, leave one behind. One must stay." Panicked, they piled into the car. Andrew floored the gas. Streetlights blinked off behind them, as if the town itself was trying to pull them back. When they finally crossed the boundary, everyone exhaled with relief. Josh asked, "Did we make it?" Andrew nodded. "Yeah, we're out." But 2 minutes later, they passed another sign, old, freshly painted. "Welcome to Blackwater population." "We were 5, Liam whispered. "Daniel, we were 5. Andrew stared at the board. "Someone counted us 2. The car lights flickered. The engine sputtered. In the rearview mirror, Andrew saw her, sitting in the back seat. White gown, burnt face, hollow eyes. He screamed. Brandon swung at her, but his hand passed through her body like fog. She whispered, "You're home now." The car stopped, but nothing around them had changed. Same cracked road, same valley, same cold wind. And then Andrew saw it. A new sign in front of them. Blackwater Town, limit you can't leave behind the car. Dozens of figures stepped onto the road, then hundreds. Burnt faces, empty eyes, broken limbs, walking in perfect synchronization. A welcome parade. Andrew tried reversing. Gear jammed, doors locked, windows stuck. The woman leaned forward between them, her voice like air escaping a corpse. "Now we remember you. Now you will remember us." Next morning, Highway Patrol found an empty SUV on the roadside. Doors open, engine dead. No sign of the 5 men, except for one thing. On the back windshield, written with a finger, "We stay, you follow." Since that day, Blackwater's official population record shows 6. Some nights, locals claim they see a woman in a white gown standing at the valley's edge. Behind her, 5 human-shaped silhouettes. No eyes, no faces, just perfect, hollow copies. People call them the Memory Eaters. And they say one thing for sure. Blackwater never sleeps. Before we end tonight's investigation, if you want more stories pulled straight from America's buried nightmares, subscribe to DeepNight Horrors, turn on the bell, and become part of our growing darkness. Because out here, the night never ends.